The rain was coming down in sheets as I drove home, the wipers of my old Jeep struggling to keep up. I'm Kester, 43, and I work as a landscape architect in Seattle. It's a job I love, designing and creating beautiful outdoor spaces. It's also a job that keeps me away from home more than I'd like, especially with my wife, Brielle. We've been married for 15 years, and I always thought we were happy. Maybe I was just blind. Brielle works as a marketing manager for a tech company downtown. She's always been ambitious, driven. I admired that about her. But lately she'd been working longer hours, attending more conferences, and generally seeming distant. I chalked it up to the pressures of her job. I wanted to be supportive. That evening I walked into our house, the familiar scent of lavender and vanilla usually a comfort, but tonight it felt low. Brielle, I'm home, I called out, dropping my briefcase by the door. No response. I found a note on the kitchen counter. Gone to Portland for a last-minute meeting. Back tomorrow night. Love you. It was signed with her usual flourish. Love you. The words felt like a punch to the gut. Portland. She hadn't mentioned anything about a trip to Portland, and why the last-minute secrecy? A seed of doubt, a tiny, poisonous thing began to sprout in my mind. I tried to shake it off. Brielle wouldn't lie to me. Would she? I decided to make myself dinner, a simple pasta dish. As I ate, I scrolled through social media trying to distract myself. That's when I saw it. A photo posted by a mutual friend, Xander, who lives in Portland. It was a group shot from a trendy restaurant downtown, and there in the background was Brielle, laughing, her hand resting on the arm of a man I didn't recognize. The man was handsome, with dark hair and a confident smile. He looked familiar. I zoomed in on the photo, my heart pounding in my chest. It couldn't be. But it was. It was Reese, Brielle's boss. I'd met him a few times at company parties. He'd always been overly friendly, a little too touchy-feely with Brielle, but I dismissed it as just his personality. Now seeing him with her in Portland, 1,000 red flags went up. I felt sick, betrayed. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold my phone. I needed to know the truth. I called Brielle's cell. It went straight to voicemail. "Hey, it's me," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "Just wanted to see how the meeting's going. Call me when you get a chance." I hung up knowing she wouldn't call back. Not tonight. Sleep was impossible. I tossed and turned. The image of Brielle and Reese burned into my brain. The next morning I called in sick to work. I couldn't face anyone, couldn't pretend that everything was normal. I needed answers. I started digging. I checked our credit card statements, our bank accounts, anything that might give me a clue. That's when I found it. A charge for a hotel in Portland under Brielle's name for 2 nights. The dates coincided perfectly with her meeting. The evidence was mounting, undeniable. My wife was having an affair with her boss. The woman I loved, the woman I'd built a life with, was lying to me, betraying me in the worst possible way. Rage, pure and unfiltered, surged through me. I wanted to confront her, to scream at her, to demand an explanation. But I knew that wouldn't accomplish anything. I needed to be smart, to gather more evidence, to plan my next move. I decided to hire a private investigator. I found a reputable firm online and scheduled a meeting for that afternoon. His name was Imrise, a no-nonsense guy with a sharp eye and a calm demeanor. I told him everything, showed him the photo, the hotel bill, the evidence I'd collected. "I need to know everything," I said, my voice trembling. "I need to know how long this has been going on, who else is involved, everything." Imrise nodded, his expression grim. "I understand, Mr. Collum. I'll get you the answers you need, but be prepared. What you find might not be what you want to hear." The next few days were agonizing. I waited, paced, and replayed every moment of our relationship in my head, searching for clues I'd missed, signs I'd ignored. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I was a wreck. Finally, Imrise called. "I have something for you, Mr. Collum. Can you come to my office?" I drove downtown, my hands gripping the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles turned white. When I arrived, Imrise led me into his office and handed me a thick file. "This is everything we found," he said. "Photos, emails, text messages, everything." I opened the file, my heart pounding in my chest. The evidence was overwhelming. Brielle and Reese had been having an affair for 6 months. They'd been meeting in hotels, in restaurants, even at her office after hours. The emails were explicit, the text messages even more so. They were planning a future together, a life without me. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. The betrayal was so deep, so complete, it took my breath away. I closed the file, my hands shaking. "What do I do now?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. Emrise looked at me, his expression sympathetic. "That's up to you, Mr. Collum. You have all the evidence you need. You can confront her, file for divorce, whatever you want. But remember, you deserve better than this. You deserve someone who loves you, who respects you, who is honest with you." I knew he was right. I deserved better. But the thought of ending my marriage, of losing Brielle, was terrifying. We'd been together for so long, shared so much. How could I just walk away? But then I thought about the lies, the betrayal, the pain she'd inflicted on me. And I knew I couldn't stay. I wouldn't stay. I went home, packed a bag, and waited for Brielle to return. When she walked through the door, her expression was guarded, almost defiant. "Hey," she said, trying to sound casual. "How was your day?" I held up the file Emrise had given me. "I know everything, Brielle," I said, my voice cold and hard. "I know about you and Reese. I know about the lies, the hotel rooms, the emails. I know everything." Her face paled. "Kester," she stammered, her eyes darting around the room. "Don't," I said, cutting her off. "Don't even try to deny it. I have proof. I have everything." She started to cry, the tears streaming down her face. "I'm so sorry, Kester," she sobbed. "I didn't mean for this to happen. It just happened. It just happened," I repeated, my voice rising. "You betrayed me, Brielle. You lied to me, you cheated on me, and you tell me it just happened." "I was unhappy," she said, her voice barely a whisper. "I felt neglected. You were always working, always away. I needed attention, I needed something, so you cheated on me," I said, my voice dripping with sarcasm. "That's your solution? To betray the person who loves you, the person who has always been there for you?" She didn't answer. She just stood there, sobbing, her face buried in her hands. "I'm leaving, Brielle," I said, turning to walk out the door. "I'm filing for divorce. I can't be with someone who would do this to me." "Please, Kester, don't go," she begged, reaching out to grab my arm. "I'll do anything, I'll change. Just give me another chance." I looked at her, at the woman I'd loved for so long, and I felt nothing. The love was gone, replaced by anger, resentment, and a deep sense of betrayal. "It's too late, Brielle," I said, shaking my head. "It's over." I walked out the door, leaving her standing there, alone and heartbroken. I didn't look back. The divorce was messy, as divorces often are. Brielle fought me on everything, trying to get as much money as possible. But I didn't care about the money. I just wanted to be free of her, free of the lies, free of the pain. In the end, I got what I wanted. The divorce was finalized, and I was finally able to move on with my life. It wasn't easy. There were days when I felt lost, alone, and bitter. But I knew I'd made the right decision. I deserved better than Brielle, and I was determined to find it. I started focusing on myself, on my work, on my friends. I took up new hobbies, traveled to new places, and slowly began to heal. It took time, but eventually I started to feel like myself again. A better version of myself, stronger, wiser, and more resilient. One day, a few months after the divorce was finalized, I received a phone call from an unknown number. I hesitated, then answered it. "Hello, Kester, it's Reese," the voice on the other end said. "I need to talk to you." My blood ran cold. "What do you want?" I asked, my voice tight. "I know what I did was wrong," he said. "I hurt you, I hurt Brielle, I hurt a lot of people. I'm sorry," I scoffed. "Sorry doesn't even begin to cover it. You destroyed my marriage, you ruined my life." "I know," he said, "and I'm paying the price. Brielle left me, Kester. She said she couldn't be with someone who would do that to her. She said she still loved you, that she always would." I didn't say anything. I didn't know what to say. "I just wanted you to know," he continued, "that I'm sorry, and that you were right about her. She's not the person you thought she was." He hung up. I stared at my phone, my mind reeling. Brielle had left him. She'd said she still loved me. Was it true? Did it even matter? I didn't know, but I knew one thing. I was done with Brielle, done with the lies, done with the betrayal. I was ready to move on, to find someone who would love me, respect me, and be honest with me. Someone who would never betray my trust. I deserved that. And I was determined to find it. Life has a funny way of working out. I'm not saying everything is perfect now, but I'm happier than I've been in years. I've met someone new, a wonderful woman named Meredith who appreciates me for who I am. We're taking things slow, but I have a feeling this could be something special. As for Brielle, I don't know what happened to her. I heard she moved away, started a new life somewhere else. I don't think about her much anymore. She's a chapter in my life that's closed, a painful memory that's slowly fading away. And that's okay. because I'm moving forward towards a brighter future. A future filled with love, happiness, and trust. A future I deserve. The rain has stopped now and the sun is shining through the clouds. It's a beautiful day, a new beginning, and I'm ready for it.